Alrighty. That was really fancy. This is the first time we ever used StreamYard, so I gotta say that was pretty fancy.
That was fancy.
I like it. Yeah, if the echo's too bad, just let me know. I'm outside. I can't tell by the deck above me and the siding behind me.
Like, what's your mic? Where's your mic at?
Right here.
I can hear it. Like, I can hear the noise around the mic, but that's it.
Okay, we're gonna try to stay off. Oh, I just clapped them
off the table. That's probably it.
Yeah, we're gonna probably try to stay off the table here. We're in the process of moving, right? And so we're building a house. We're young. We didn't know what we were doing. Threw everything in the unit. Everything. And, it's too far. It's too far gone to go in and get anything. It's
right. And you're starting to dude, what a hassle. How long have you had everything in storage?
Man, we're probably going on month 3 or 4.
You figured out you figured out how to live without all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Ish. But thankfully, her grandparents living on the farm with her grandparents right now. So it's been super fun. Like, part of me doesn't want to leave, but the other part of me is like,
that's awesome.
I only brought half my wardrobe. Forgot a lot of things. We're gonna have duplicates of so many things that we've bought.
Right. I can see that. Yeah.
Oh, no, you're kidding.
Yeah.
But man, it's been fun. It's been fun. Remind me, where do you live?
Kansas City.
Kansas? Oh, beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Beautiful. Have you been there your whole life?
I've lived within 70 miles of where I am right now my whole life. Yeah. So I was born in Topeka, Kansas. And then my parents, thank God, they moved to Kansas City in between middle school and high school. Back then it was like the worst thing in the world for me. But from a life perspective, like, it was a good thing. It was just better to not grow up in Topeka, I feel. I've nicknamed it the armpit of the earth.
Yeah, I have a few buddies. Yes. Oh, really? Is that really like the term it's been given?
There's not a lot going on there, man. There's not.
In Kansas City, you have the Chiefs, so I mean, you got that going for you.
Yes, sir. We got a lot going on here, man. I'm not going to tell you what else is going on, because then people start coming here. We're hosting a World Cup game next year.
Holy moly! Wow.
Yeah, like, we're a city on the come up. Like, it's a pretty cool time for KC right now.
That's super awesome. Yeah, my dad traveled a lot for work and frequents Kansas City a lot.
Yeah, it's a good place, man.
That's awesome. I kind of like this because I think we were just entering. I put out a post on the mastermind I'm part of, the group I'm part of, Builders of Authority. Adam McChesney.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
BOA. Oh yeah,
absolutely love it. And you were gracious enough to be like, yeah, I would love to join. Here we are. Yeah. I've been doing this. So most of the time, I used to just always way over prepare, and everything was so too scripted. And you know, the short form videos you could make of these calls for guys sucked because it was so scripted. There was nothing longer than. Long story short, I've been trying to know as little about my guests, enough to be dangerous, but enough to give just a runway.
Sweet.
How do you pronounce? Is it Diffactory? Diffactory?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you nailed it. Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I would love to hear about the mission at Diffactory, because if I'm understanding right, you're helping people sell businesses, set up for exits, basically scale with an exit or with a strategic growth in mind. If I'm hearing that right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we just celebrated a decade of business. We launched in 2015, and this is the third company that I have co-founded in the, say, marketing service delivery space. So a lot of what Adam does with that Builders of Authority. And I was getting tired of running marketing companies for a big reason. The big reason was I'm a business guy who started a marketing company, not a marketer who started a business. And so when somebody hires us to come in and help them with, hey, marketing, what do they really want? They really want revenue. They want more points on the board. They want more opportunity. And I got sick of loading people up with opportunity and then it impacting negatively other parts of the business. It could be service delivery, it could be operations, whatever. And I would always stick my head in probably where it wasn't appreciated with our clients. I'd be like, well, if we do this and keep doing this, then you're going to have to hire A, B, C, D, E. And I was like, man, what if we just solve for a different variable? We'll still help them grow. Well, let's help them grow revenue and the value of their business, because the value of a founder's business, that is a lot of their net worth. Like they're anticipating that they're going to be able to package up and transition it to somebody at some point in time to fund probably their latter years or their next entrepreneurial venture or whatever. And so a year ago, we made the decision to pivot from being a marketing company to being I would say value acceleration company. So we're helping intentionally increase the value of a company, a lot of times on a short time frame, because the owner does want out at some point in the near future. And that's been awesome. It's been really, really cool because there's a billion marketers out there, and this is what I've spent my entire career doing, right? And there's just a lot out there. But when it comes to people who have a track record that's verifiable, they're cool to work with, plus they want to help you like with purpose at growing your business, specifically to hopefully have a good exit one day. That's not a lot of people. That's actually way less people than you would anticipate. And so I went back to school last year, went to Exit Planning Institute, got a certified exit planning advisor designation. I'm still in school. So I was in school today, and I became I have to look at it. I became what did I become? An accredited value guide as well with the Value Builder system. And so what I'm trying to do is just get as many resources, because you probably see Cody Sanchez on.
Yeah, of course.
So what I tell my owners that I serve, most of them are, I don't want to be stereotypical, but a lot of them are older than me. They might be boomers. They might be in their late 50s. They don't know what's happening, meaning they don't see that there's conferences full of people trying to buy their business for zero down, and there's people selling masterminds on how to buy it. They're not prepared. They think, hey, I'm running my plumbing company and somebody's going to give me a check when I'm done. Maybe, maybe not. I want to make sure that that's a yes and that they get the most money possible. So I feel like the buy side has been warrioring up, and there's been a lot of people helping them. But on the sell side, there's a little bit under-resourced. And so I'm excited to be on the sell side specifically.
Ooh, that's exciting. That's really exciting.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love how I love the pivot. I really do. And it totally ruins my next segment on
That's all right. That's all right.
The Value Accelerator. I'm like, there's got to be a mission behind that, and you shared it flawlessly. Super, super cool. How I can personally relate to that, being a part of a family company, my wife's family coming into this company, where it was just their retirement. It's just their retirement. There's no exit plan. There's no. It's exactly what you hit the nail on the head with. They think, hey, when I'm done and I'm ready to retire, someone's gonna give me a check. And there's no no EBITDA in the world can create the exit strategy that they want or the price that they want. And so that's I could definitely relate to that on a personal level, especially when it comes to dealing with family.
That's a big part of the exit planning. I mean, I do a lot of succession planning, family stuff. I mean, when people think about an exit, they think, hey, I got acquired and, some company bought me. There's a ton of different ways to exit. As a matter of fact, I have a background in franchising. I own a small franchise system. I consider franchising as an exit because what you're doing is you're taking your intellectual property and you're finding scale for it. And frankly, you're making it so that you can replace yourself pretty easy in a franchise. Like when you build a franchise system, you by definition have a system that people are operating. Like, you don't necessarily have to be there. ESOPs, obviously you can ESOP, employee stock option program. But there's a million ways that you can do it. The sad thing and the thing that I think sucks the most is exactly what you just talked about. It's like if they're at the end, and this particularly impacts the trades where they're harder on your body if the operator is still in the trade. Let's use plumbing as an example. Okay, so you own a plumbing company. Let's say you're 60 years old. You've been running the company for 30 years. You think, hey, I keep hearing all this awesome news, private equity is snatching up, Main Street businesses, and they are. Don't get me wrong, they absolutely are. But let's say that you're the guy who runs the most expensive part of the business, meaning you do all of the excavation and all of those things. Well, when you go to sell that, they're going to want somebody who can do that. And if you're the only person who can do that, that line of business basically is discounted. Next thing you know, you're taking chips off the table. Sure, you might exit, but maybe not at the price that you could have. Had you maybe spent 6 months replacing yourself and finding somebody to do that excavation job for a quarter of what you could. Ooh, money, money, money. But by the time most owners are done, they're done. They're fried. They've hit something has happened. Caleb, there's some depressing math around what I do.
I cannot imagine.
I call it the brutal math section of my website. It's literally got the words brutal math on it. And did I take it down? Some brutal math. Yeah, nobody talks about it. So here's the math. And then tell me if you would have started your founder's journey if you'd known this at the beginning. You ready? You ready to go on a ride? We don't do out loud math on your show or any show. So luckily, I've already done the math for us. So let's say we got a room full of 100 business owners, 100 business owners, people like you and me. They're hanging out. Okay, the first piece of brutal math: 50% of them are going to leave the company before they want to, due to death, disability, dismemberment, disagreement, and divorce. One of the 5 Ds is going to take out 50%. So 50%, you got to go. You're out of the room. Now there's half of us here. Whew, we made the cut. Thank God. We're going to be able to get and sell our company. We're going to put our company on the market. Guess what? Bad news. 8 out of 10 don't sell. Crap. 20% sell. 20%. Now we're down. We're down to 10 of us. That's not good. Because guess what? Of those 10, 75% are going to be pissed off. They're going to be profoundly regretful. Those are the words. They're going to profoundly regret selling their business 1 year later. That's 2.5% chance, Caleb, that you're going to exit your business and run off into the sunset like you imagine when you start. That's brutal math. I don't care how you look at it. It's brutal. And so that's a big part of why I do what I do. I don't want people to hit the finish line and realize that they have an untransferable asset.
Untransferable asset. Interesting. I like the way you put that. Do you see with your statistic 8 out of 10 don't sell? Do you see that statistic changing at all for those blue collar businesses that opt to do asset sales, or is that kind of just a statistic that covers any kind of business sale?
It just covers any type of business sale. My hypothesis, if I had data, would be that the trades are probably higher. So. Meaning higher percentage that will close, right? Here is why most don't sell. Either, and a lot of it has to do with brokers taking a business to market that they should not take. Just like a real estate agent will take a listing they shouldn't take, maybe overprice it, something like that. A lot of times the same thing, maybe they take something and it's like, man, that's actually a job that somebody's going to go buy. That's not a company, that's a job, right? And fatigue, just stay on the market, take it off, whatever. That's a big component. It's just basically like an untransferable asset. Just, I don't know how else to put it, right? It's just ugly baby. It's an ugly baby nobody wants.
It's the first 2 days of newborn.
Yeah, I mean, it's freaking ugly. It looks like an alien. It's not going to get any prettier with time. It's going to get worse. So, and that's okay, man. I mean, like, some businesses are not designed to be. There's lifestyle businesses, and then there's value creators. I own a lifestyle business and I own a value creator business. Like, I'm totally cool. Like, this, what I do right here, this is not, consulting is not this path to like high scale and things like that. People are buying my brain. My franchise system, dude, multiples on that are golden, because guess what? All I do is cash checks at this point in time. Like, literally cash checks. That's it. There's some compliance stuff and things like that, but we did a bunch of business in 2018, and it's just it's a coupon. It just keeps paying. That's a value creator. It's okay. There's a place for both in the world. But if you thought you created a value creator and you get to the finish line of your career and you're thinking about, cashing out, and then you find out it's not there, you're going to discover some pain at a point where maybe you didn't want to. And maybe you had a conversation a couple years ahead of time, did a couple things different. Your circumstances may be changed.
I don't even know what to say, because I feel like there's so many people that need to hear this, and I'm sure that's what you're preaching all the time. But holy moly, yeah, I see it all the time. I see it all the time. I mean, I have multiple contractors that I work with where the 70-plus-year-old owner-operator is still on the job, training in new people. And it's just never ending. They've either accepted that they're just going to work till they die, or they truly love it. And sometimes it's the latter, but most of the time when I see people that are 70-plus, I have a few in mind. It's because they have to do it. And man, that's I don't have.
It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch.
It's very hard to watch.
For me to watch,
especially when they put all this time and energy for how many years, decades. I mean, just to try to relate it a little bit to what I've experienced. It's funny. I saw a YouTube video of somebody placing vending machines for free in businesses.
Oh, yeah.
I sit in my college dorm and I'm like, I need money for things that I'm not supposed to be doing right now. So we got to figure out a solution for this. Sitting in my private, my Christian college dorm room, like, we gotta find a solution. Saw this YouTube video. I'm like, this will work. So what did I do? I run to mommy and daddy for money. They're like, yeah, you can get lost. And I was like, all right. I successfully did, though, convince my father to sign a credit card for me. We outlined this little contract. And I had a $5,000 credit card limit. Maxed it out really quick. Really messed that up. Messed the dad's credit up probably the first year for sure. Thankfully got out of it. Regardless, started placing vending machines all over Minneapolis and in room of my dorm room. So Saturday it was leave the dorm room, Costco, fill. And I definitely didn't see any end in sight. I mean, I thought it was the next key to my riches for sure. I see all these YouTube videos of people with 90+ vending machines, and I'm like, oh, 5 is too many. And I can't afford to train the way my prices are. I can't afford to pay somebody else. I mean, they're going to steal my snacks, and it's just going to be, it's going to be a crap show. And so it just got to the point where I'm like, there's no end. I just got to get out. And, sold it for a little coin and, put it in somebody else's hands that were much better and much more suited for that. But that is the personal experience I have. I had no idea or goal in mind. I had no end in mind. I just knew this is what I needed to do to make XYZ over the next 3 months. And then eventually the clock just stopped ticking. I got tired of it. Still, though, to this day, you say you have no regrets, and I do have no regrets for the most part. I don't. Maybe I don't know, but maybe a little bit. That's probably one of them. Is I I wish I would have held on to it. Not because it was making me a ton of money, but because I just feel like there's so much more for me left to learn. I just got sick of it. It was hard to see somebody else doing something when my little 19-year-old self was doing it all. And then 20 and 21 hit, and 21 was like, I'm about to graduate college, on to the next thing. But the biggest thing that I think of when you were telling me about there's no planning, succession planning, exit plan, nothing. With the younger generation that I hope will listen to this, what would be the biggest non-negotiable for a business owner that wants to exit in 5 to 10 years?
I mean, the biggest non-negotiable is you got to figure out how to replace yourself. You just do. You just got to figure out how, as a founder-led business, how you eventually look up, and you may have a job there. Don't get me wrong, but it's got to be something that you can't being the face of the company's hard. Let's just say that personal brands are a thing right now.
Yeah.
I've built my career on a personal brand across many different companies and jobs. I mean, we all have a personal brand. You wake up, you show up, and it's what do people think about you, right?
Right.
But as it started to become more prevalent, I've got a rapper friend, Chris Calico. So Tech Nine's label, if you're not familiar with Tech Nine, it's here in Lee Summit, Missouri, Kansas City. And he used to be a rapper on Tech Nine's label and went out on his own. And dude's tired of, I think he gets tired of touring, but you're the talent. Like, you are the business. That's the rapper, or even if you use Mr. Beast, number one YouTuber. All right, what happens if Jimmy stops showing up? Value goes down. Like, it just doesn't work. That's okay. It's okay. But if at all possible, if you'd like to make more money, try not to do that. Try to build a brand that can exist without you. Try to make it so that you are a replaceable asset. You're not the number one rainmaker, the person who makes, all the sales, for example, or all the customers love. That's great until it's time to sell. And then it's like, oh, whoops, that's a problem. Right. So that's literally it. Like, that's it. You build something, it creates value, it creates cash flow that's predictable. When you take yourself out of that, it can continue to do that. That's what most investors care about. They're buying a cash flow stream. They're not buying emotions. They're not buying your history. They're buying what they think it's going to do in the future with the discount, because they're going to pay you now. There you go. It's not rocket science, but it is hard.
Right. Yeah, I mean, hey, you answered that perfectly. The number one non-negotiable is figure out how to friggin' replace yourself.
Yeah, that's it, man. I mean, it's why these tech companies are worth so much. Mm-hmm. There's so much. You see these multiples of EBITDA that are like 20 or whatever, and you're like, my gosh, insane. Well, it's because it's ones and zeros don't bitch. They show up every day. They're predictable. Well, maybe not as much now with tech evolving, but it used to be. Yeah, I wouldn't want to buy a tech company right now. I'd be like, yeah, I got disrupted yesterday.
Right.
But historically, they had great, or even subscription models, insurance companies, things like that, renewables. It's like, man, when it's not about the people, but a lot of your folks, service folks, people I serve, it is about people. It's about people doing stuff. Great. Not a problem. Just make sure that you're not the king person doing the stuff if you want to sell it one day.
Right. Figure out how to replace yourself. Man, that's
easier
said than, it's easier said than done. And that's kind of what I want to move the conversation to. Is more life and how to have a life outside of scaling your company for exit. Essentially, say it that. I experienced this on an interesting level recently. We had a new baby, and I decided to hire an executive assistant. I'm one of two executives, so fancy an assistant to free up more of my time so I can be more present in life. And being 24, I believe there's a certain aspect of there is no work-life balance. You just have to find a happy medium, a happy harmony, whatever you want to call it. But what I found, and why I want to get into the conversation of how to set yourself up for finding someone to replace you, is I had all these tasks started getting off my plate and freeing up time for me. Yeah. And I'm like, ooh, more time for me to do stuff. Let's fill in the spots. I mean, within week 1, week 2, soon as she started taking tasks off my plate, I started adding them right back on. And, that's, the driver and me as an entrepreneur, I'm sure but how do you balance it all? I know you have a wife. I know you have children. Mm-hmm. What's the first step these business owners in that 1 million range, a little under 1 million, as they're trying to grind, but keep a personal life, keep an actual life outside of because like I said, it's a lot easier to say and I'm still figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. I got a long road ahead of me, but figuring out how to replace yourself without burning yourself out.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head a second ago, and I'll use the example. First of all, congrats on being a new dad. That's going to lead into exactly my answer. So, ask me when the last time I mowed my yard was.
When was the last time you mowed your yard, Kevin?
Before I had children. Before I became a dad. So, as soon as I became a dad, I started outsourcing things. I started taking things off my plate. I'd look at, I think my lawn guy just bumped me up to $30. We got a small yard. We have a postage stamp for a yard. Used to be 25. Okay. And it's been 25 for like a decade. So I'm glad he boosted us. And when I looked at fatherhood and I looked at this young man who's now Landon, who's 13, I was like, man, is it worth more than $25 an hour for me to hang out with that kid? Hell yeah, it was. Outsource it. And we were able to. Hired a house cleaner. Like, we just started outsourcing our lives. We started outsourcing as much as possible that made sense on a personal level first. Okay, that got us to what I would consider survival mode as new parents, because you know what it's like, man. When you've got that new baby, there's a lot of things you're figuring out. So then when it came to the business side, I mean, what do you do when you hire somebody? You're hiring somebody to do a job that you don't want to do in your company or that you're not qualified to do. Like, that's all you're doing. You're buying back your time. You're paying somebody to do something that's important and required in the business that you don't want to do or don't have the capacity to do. Cool. All right. Well, have you read? It sounds like maybe you have. I don't have the book here. I loaned it out. But Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. Have you read that
no
book?
But my wife just bought it for me.
Good. It's a banger. It's awesome. He says something that I always remember when I start thinking about, if I bought back my time and I fill it back up and I'm like, oh, I need to transfer the things that don't make sense to another human. And I've gotten into a habit of that. Like, I'm a master of audit. Oh, I'm feeling some pain. I'm going to stop instead of continuing to fix this issue and being the savior. I'm going to stop. I'm going to open up Loom. I'm going to record it. I'm going to transfer that task to another human being on my team that's probably more qualified for it, would enjoy it more and do it better. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to backfill with the things that make sense and provide economic certainty, or not certainty, but livelihood to my business and or give me joy. Okay. So what I would say to you is, are you backfilling with high quality activities, or do you just have this, you're a chaos junkie like a lot of us, where it's like, hey, the more things I have going on my calendar, I feel like I'm doing stuff. And it's just like, man, when you read Buy Back Your Time, it's going to force you to slow down and audit for a couple of days. And then you're going to get where I am, where you're going to be like, hey, it's a video game. Like, how many things can I kill? How many things can I just look at one more time? I'm trying to find something on my desk. I don't have a single. Oh, I've got one. So here's one. All right. This is my address book. This sucks. This is painful. Like, this whole process, right? So what did I do? I audited the process of what I'm doing to this list. I transferred it to my 13-year-old son who works for my company. I trained him, and then he started doing it. Kane, stop what you're doing, Kevin. Don't do this. I'm going to audit. I'm going to record it. I'm going to transfer it to another human being. Sure, I might have to manage this. He may have questions, but like, that's it. And just become like a master at it. It's like, oh, I'm feeling pain. I'm not not go and fix it like I always have. I'm going to maybe take twice as long. So I never have to do it again. And it becomes a mindset. And then once that mindset happens, like, dude, I love my intranet. So it's my knowledge base. It's where we store all of our information. I freaking love that place. It's a Notion. If you've never heard of Notion, it's just
absolutely.
And I get so excited every time I put something there because I'm like, dude, it's there now. Like, I never have to go hunt for it and drive again. I never have to go to email and find it again. I don't ever have to think again, nor does anybody in my company. The answer is it's on the knowledge base, dude. And if it's not on the knowledge base, chances are it's outdated and we don't use it anymore.
Cool. Fair.
And I love it. And guess what that does, Caleb?
What does it do?
It increases the value of my most valuable asset, my business. If one of the five D's happens, if I die on the way home tonight, guess who gets to figure out how my business runs? My wife. She knows how to get in here. Here's a roadmap. Here's what we're doing. Here's the intellectual property. If you need to go package it up, here's Kevin's stuff. And it sleeps better at night. And when it comes time to sell one day, okay, great. Here are the keys. Here's the playbook. Here you go. Here's what you bought. You didn't buy me. You bought the processes, the intellectual property, the trademark, whatever we got. Here it is. Have a great day. So
that's so interesting. You mentioned that because I handle so much. My wife does amazing now with 2 kids under 2. She's an absolute faith-filled.
You have 2 under
woman.
2.
Yes, we had our second. That makes 2 under 2.
Oh, not twins, huh?
Yeah. No, not twins.
Irish twins.
Very much Irish twins.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
But without her, I couldn't do what I do, and without God, I'm sure she couldn't do what she does. But
no, sir.
we have a death folder. So it's called a death folder. So it's everything that I manage, the finances, everything, the back end. That I manage. She mentions it sometimes, or she started mentioning it a lot over the last 2 years. What happens if something happens to you? Like, I'm gonna have no idea what to do. And so created a death folder, literally everything you need to know, updated on a regular basis, take a new insurance policy out. Right now with this house build process, I'm updating it almost every other day. It's interesting.
Good for you, man. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you. I don't give them out. By the way, ask my friends. I don't give those out very often. But I did the same thing like 4 years ago. So the fact that you've done it at your age, dude, like you might be 100 times ahead most of your peers. Like that's super responsible. And like I know a lot of sophisticated entrepreneurs who haven't done that. And it's super smart, man. It's exactly what you should do.
I appreciate that. I truly appreciate those kind words and affirmations. I don't remember. It wasn't a thought that just dawned on me. It must have been in a book or
smart.
I can't remember, but gives her peace of mind, gives me peace of mind. When you push me off that bridge on accident, here's your life insurance policy, how you take it out, and so forth and so forth. But it's so funny, I haven't even thought of doing anything of the sorts for the company. We have SOPs and this and that, but there would be a lot of unknowns. So it's interesting and a definitely a good point and something I would love to implement, as should everybody else. Take that extra time, which I think is the biggest objection. It's the biggest objection.
It's the biggest objection. It is.
It's time. It takes time. It takes time. The biggest thing I get so many questions, especially from guys my age, friends, they're like, how do you do it all? How do you have time? How do you have time? I'm like, I make time. I mean,
just do it.
Plenty of time. Just got to make it. I make plenty of time and I still get to watch all the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives new episodes that come out on Hulu. So I think we're doing pretty good. But it's interesting. I wanted to touch on how you said, delegate it. Mow your lawn. No, mow your lawn.
Yeah.
In this new house, I'm like, I should buy a lawnmower. I should buy a snowblower. And then I'm definitely not going to do that. I'm definitely
you got 2 kids under 2, dude.
Right.
As somebody who's got 2 teenagers, I can tell you they leave one day. They're going to leave one day. And like, I don't regret a single missed lawn mowing I just don't. And it becomes a nice luxury. It's like one less thing I've got to do, which gives me, I mean, you know about energy, right? Like energy is pretty easy. We wake up with a certain amount of energy and it deteriorates throughout the day. Like it's a battery. We're just like our phones, you know? So you got to think about your tank. You know, what do you bring into your family? Are you bringing all the energy you can, you know?
Yeah, I think for me, if I want to get a little deep here, you know, not the
Let's go.
stereotypical business conversation.
I don't like social. Let's go. Or I don't like stereotypical. Let's go.
Man, I have this deep fear and nervousness of, you know, you see all the Alex Hormozy stuff of, you know, if you're complaining about work-life balance at 22, you're a failure. This and that. You just see all the bull crap online, right? Yeah. And great points about delegating the life tasks. When outsourcing the life tasks or outsourcing life tasks to make more time for business, it makes me nervous, and I have this deep fear of feeling maybe not real or not grounded. Like, you know, I'm just like you said, it's a video game. Yeah. That's cool and all, but it terrifies me. It terrifies me to feel like a video game. I would say it goes past imposter syndrome, right? It goes like, is this doesn't feel like, you know, I fear the feeling of it not being real life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to a certain degree. One thing I'll tell you is Hormozy doesn't have kids, right?
Right. Yeah.
So anything that dude says, you know, you got it. First of all, what's he doing? He's selling clicks. Everybody's selling clicks, baby. Click, click, click. You know, I can tell you're a Christian, dude. I'm a Christian as well. Yep. I mean, you've ever heard the NF song, clicks, clicks, clicks. You know,
I never even connected those dots.
Yeah, it is, and it's true, man. That whole song's about you know. So you got to think about what's everybody's motive, right?
Sure.
When you're taking advice, but my advice to most people, particularly like new dads and things like that, I'm like, dude, yeah, balance is a myth, but it's a blend. Let's use what's happening with me right now. I'm sitting in my office. My office is 3 miles away from my home. This is the second time I've been here. I left at 5. I went home. I worked out. I ate. I showered. I saw both of my children and my wife. And then I came back, and then I'll go back. It's like, all right, it's just like this. It's not this off on. Where I think that a lot of this stuff comes from, dude, is like the pre-COVID world. So I've always been a remote work where you want type of person, advocate for a very long time. And I am so thankful that COVID happened because it changed the way that we work. Okay. It used to be you go to this place called work to work. It didn't used to be that you sat in your in-laws' backyard under their deck, and this wasn't a thing 5 years ago, dude. And so because it's changed, we get the opportunity to morph, to not put work in a box, and to kind of mix it all up. It's just, you know, I did see Hormozy's post. He's like, it's called life. That's the way I think of it. And not to sound too cliche, and not everybody's in this bucket, but if you find that work isn't fun, change it, dude. If you don't like the company you're running, you're the boss. You started it. Take accountability. Change it. You know, we have agency over ourselves as humans in the United States of America. Not a lot of that's not the true in other places. So that's why I'm like, as America, we hit the lottery. We have control and free choice over ourselves, right. Sovereignty. Dude, don't blow it. Like, right. Live it. Live your life. Enjoy it. If it's not working, if you find that you're working 80 hours a week, whatever, figure it out. There's a ton of resources. Call me. I'll tell you what it is. Chances are you already know what it is. You just probably need to do the work or commit and do it. You know?
Yeah.
And you're not going to... I think part of what you might be touching on earlier, and let me know about this, is do you feel like you're less manly if you outsource your yard? Somebody else is mowing your yard. Do you feel like you lose some manhood points? You lose something there? Ooh, where's this go?
Maybe. I guess I just see all the buddies. I see all the buddies mowing the lawn, going to Costco on Saturdays. You know, I hate Costco on Saturdays.
Me too. They deliver to me. I don't go there. I outsource that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's what it is. I love mowing. And I don't know if that's it deep down, but just feeling being okay with feeling different. I've grown a lot in the past, 12, 18 months. Really, really great. And it's been really, really great, but it's also been really lonely. So I think that's probably where this goes into, experience imposter syndrome more times than I can count. What that feels like. This feeling's different. It's a feeling of being different, but I'm learning to be okay with that and dwell in it.
You celebrate it.
Right.
It, man. I mean, my perspective is, so you are different. God made you the way he made you. You're unique. You're a unique human. We all are. But furthermore, you're damaged goods. I don't know how else to say it. You're broken. Anybody who signs up to do this whole thing of business ownership has a switch off somewhere. Like it's painful. It's full of uncertainty. It takes a special type of human being to say, hey, I'm going to be an employer, not an employee. Right? Like that's going to be the path I take. So you're already different. You're different than most of your neighbors. Like me, all my neighbors still mow their yard. I've known it for a long time. I'm like, dude, I don't mow my yard. I see one of my very best friends, Dr. Alex, mowing his yard. He's a business owner. He'll be traveling. He'll mow his yard like Monday morning before work. And I'll roll down my window. I'm like, dude, that sucks. Life's about choices. I'm like, and that's not what I'm making. It's just not.
Yeah.
And my wife's never cleaning her house again, except for the night before when I had to go home and clean the house. Do you want to know why? Because our house cleaner comes tomorrow. That's the secret. If you have a housekeeper, you end up cleaning the night before. So the house is clean for the housekeeper. Literally.
Yeah.
But
we did try that once, and I was like, this makes no sense.
It makes less than no sense, but it makes my wife happy.
Right.
If she's happy, life's good, man. Life's good.
Yeah.
But do your own thing, man. Like, do you, like you are different. First of all, acknowledge that, realize that you're like, I don't know what percentage of business or what percentage of people start a business. I'm guessing it's less than 1%. Okay. You're already different. Great. That's awesome. So be comfortable with it. I come from this as somebody who's always been different. I'm a skater to this day. I've always had that skater mentality. And so I've always been on the fringes. I was in punk rock and all that. I mean, I've just always, so I've known nothing but besides being kind of a weirdo.
I think I did when we first came. I think I did see a post about the punk rock thing on Facebook or something.
Like I've just always been out there. So I don't care. I love being different.
See the skater vibes, the filming it.
I can see it. Whoops.
Whoa.
We got boards everywhere. I got 2 in my trunk. I just broke my neon lights for you.
Oh, is that what came down? That's terrible.
It's all right.
Outsource it. Get somebody to put those back up.
My son. Exactly. He's really into all those lights and computers and stuff. As a matter of fact, if he came in and saw how many wires are showing under my desk right now, he'd be disappointed in me.
That's why when friends ask us, why you have it, like, I mean, we have friends that we got married at 21. Young, yes, but I say we're trendsetters. Not everybody's getting married at 21.
Oh, really? That's back on. That's back on.
That's all of my younger siblings' friends. Her younger siblings' friends. I mean, they're all just getting married so young.
That's cool.
It's really cool. No idea where that went. Oh, they all say that, most of them are waiting to have kids. And we're like, we started, I mean, we've been dating, we're high school sweethearts. We've known each other.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Right. And, personal note, wife has, bucket list of issues. We knew having kids was going to be difficult. So we wanted to get a jump start on it.
Yeah.
People ask why though. Why you want to have so many kids so quick, so young? My wife will always tell you, like, we're just training up employees. We're training up people to take care of our house. We're training up people to do chores for us. And
wait until 13 and 11. So this is the summer of growth in the Oldham family for our children. Like, they have a list of daily chores, and it is glorious because so like, I did laundry tonight. I put away the laundry. I'm probably the guy who puts away 90% of our laundry in our house. I do it because my wife's love language is acts of service.
Good.
Right. And we do a ton of laundry. Like, outsourcing laundry is not even a possible thing. Like, we just have so much laundry and dishes. And so where was I going with this?
Damn. 11, 13. It's the time.
Oh, yeah, 11, 13, the summer of responsibility. So they got daily chores, and then there's somebody different each day who's responsible for the dishes, walking the dog, like all sorts of really, really cool things that's typically my wife or I. And it's freaking cool having help in the house, man. I'm not going to lie. Like, when your kids get older and they can actually do stuff,
right?
It's really, really cool. So your wife, she's smart.
Yeah, she's a
smart lady. She's a smart lady. Yeah.
It's hard. It was honestly, for the longest time, it was really, really hard for me to see that end until we had to. We sold our.
Oh boy, what happened?
Am I back? Are you back?
Yeah, you're back. You're back. I'm like, oh boy, what happened?
I accidentally bumped the cord. I finally got a little taste of what it'll be like living with the grandparents. You know, always having that person, always having grandma come down, offer to babysit, offer to make dinner, offer to take the dog. It's like, oh, this is what it's like to have kids. I was like, this is what it's like to be like to have 11 and 13-year-old. They're gonna be able to do things without us.
Yeah.
Don't go to the road. Don't take your diaper off. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't hit your new baby brother. Her new thing right now. She comes up to her new baby brother. Her new thing is, you know, we're like, hi, baby. And she goes, bye-bye. And she'll walk right away.
That's hilarious.
She'll warm up.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. She's being transitioned off a pacifier, and he has the pacifier. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. No, mine. Okay. You know, you'll learn.
Good talk.
Right. And I'm seeing this all as I'm heading out the door to the office, and I'm like, God bless. You know, God's speed.
Good luck.
I don't know how you're doing.
Don't call me.
Right. Man, yeah. It's been a great conversation. See, this is I like the way this went.
Unscripted. Unscripted is the way to go. Unscripted is the way to go. Yeah, that's what.
I want to end and kind of cap with more about you. What's next for Kevin? What's the long-term vision for you right now?
Oh man, my long-term vision is keep the pedal to the metal for another 10 years.
Okay.
In that 10 years, I want to invest in a handful of entrepreneurs and their businesses. I want to hit that 10-year mark, having helped, I don't really have a number, but the right people exit their businesses for something that makes sense for them and their families. And so by nature of that, I've become their best friend because I've helped them. Like, as my wealth advisor said, he's like, dude, you know, you're going to be like people's best friend when you help them sell their company. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I am. Like, it's going to be amazing.
Right.
So I want to help I want to help entrepreneurs, I want to help as many entrepreneurs as it makes sense exit on their terms. I want to find some entrepreneurs to take under my wing during that period of time, because that decade after that, I'm going to be spending on helping those investments, like, and those entrepreneurs blossom, basically investing in the next, the people who are coming behind me. Right. So if I look up in a decade, and that's like the way I've set my life up from a work perspective, awesome. Who knows what's happened to the other companies? Like, I don't know. Our smoothie shop chain. I've got a real estate biz. Those. Who knows what's going to happen with those? So
I
here's
love
what
that.
I'm doing. Here's what I'm focused on, man. I'm focused on today. Like I'm a futurist. And being a futurist right now is really effing hard. It's really depressing. And I got depressed for a year. Like I got in the ditch, depressed for a year about AI. And once I got out of that and I came to terms with things, I realized that, life is finite here on this earth. I never know when I'm going to be called to go hang out with Jesus. And I
Mm-hmm.
am a die empty type of person, meaning, if I die today, I'm okay with that because I've everybody I know that needed to know that I love them knew that. I've done the day I wanted to do it, like I've lived a rich life.
Right.
And so I've taken the futurist perspective that I used to always have, worrying about the future and all those things, and I've really scaled back to being a lot more present. And that may or may not be a good thing, but it definitely is more enjoyable along the way. It's less suffering.
No, I think it is. I'm very blessed and very fortunate that God has positioned me in the circles that He has. It all started meeting one person at a construction con in Orlando. Like some little conference. That I was like, I need to go to a conference to be successful. I need to go learn. And I met a guy. His name was Clifton Muckenfuss. Not if you're familiar.
Clifton what? Clifton what?
Muckenfuss.
That's what I thought you said, Mr. Muckenfuss.
Yes, absolutely. I met Clifton just at just a random kind of very little, but he's like, hey, you should connect with me on Facebook, and it just brought me into this circle of like craziness. And I'm very, very, very fortunate it did because the people I've met, just like you, just like this call, first time we ever talked, and so much was revealed, through God, through you, through the people I've met, to be present. It's okay to be present. You can still be a driver. You can still be an entrepreneur that's driven, that's future planned. But it's okay to be present. And I feel so lucky because I feel like I'm navigating. It's almost a cheat code. It feels like a cheat. Like, how do you know this? I have cool friends. I don't know to answer that. I pray. I journal. I mess up a lot. I mean, I F up on a daily basis. I say sorry a lot. But I just have like literally that's one of the most common questions I get from people my age. I'll get invited somewhere, we'll go somewhere, right? And these are mutual friends I've never met. What do you do? Oh Lord, here we go. And I have cool friends. I have cool friends, and I've been really, really blessed and really lucky. And
that's part of the key to a rich life, man. I mean, it really is.
It
Maybe
is.
at the end of it, it's not about the stuff. It's not about the achievements. Like for me, what I've realized that life is this. This is life, man. When you're hanging out with other people and you're making their lives better, it's a life well lived.
What does legacy mean to you? If you were to summarize this less than 30 seconds, what does a legacy look like to you?
A long line at my funeral.
I love that.
Yeah, like a lot of people. Yeah, and I've thought about this. I'm like, man, and I've actually thought about the invite. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to create the invite list to my funeral. Like I'm into stoicism and stuff.
Oh
I'm
goodness!
I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of death. And
it's a lot easier when you know where you're going. It's a lot easier not to be afraid
super
of that.
cool. It's super cool, right? So I feel like that if that's true, then my dash was well lived. You know what the dash is? Have you heard that? The poem?
No.
It's I read it at my mom's funeral. It's the dash it's literally the dash in between your born and your death date on your tombstone. Your dash. a really cool funeral or really cool funeral type of,
Right.
poem or whatever, because that represents your life and it's just a flash in the pan relative to society and to everything, right? And I'm like, man, if my dash resulted in people wanting to show up to my service, that means that I impacted them in a positive way. And that means that I got to do this. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. This is going to be on my tombstone. I guarantee it.
What's it say?
It says, be the filament. This is my life's purpose, dude. This is why I show up every day. This is what I do. I am the filament, the lives and the people I touch. And so if I honor this every day, if I show up and I am the filament, that means that I impact people in a positive way. It means I got a good turnout at my funeral, which means that that's like the legacy I have,
Mm-hmm.
So
I like that. I love that. I love that.
I do too.
I love that for a couple of reasons, because this may just completely be off topic, not even off topic, but you make so much more money when you live a purposeful life.
Mm-hmm.
It's
you do.
These conversations are what I used to avoid. Like when I was 22 and I was like, just like, oh my gosh, I'm killing it. These are the conversations I avoided. Like I avoided getting deep. I avoided talking about, what I claimed and deemed bull crap, personal life. I was like, no, it's business. We go out to dinner on a work trip. Let's talk business. Now I'm like, tell me about your wife, dude. Like, kids, like, they're teething. My daughter's 13. It's hell. And that's just I enjoy that so much more. And the more I've done the last years, it really I always bring up my wife, but it's really, she's like, you just gotta start enjoying life more. I'm like, whatever you say. And when I did, oh my gosh. I mean, I remember probably the season, the time, the day that I did just start enjoying life more.
Really? That's awesome. Dude,
yes, I remember exactly
the fact that you figured out all of this stuff at your age.
I figured it all out.
It took me a long time to figure out a lot of this stuff. A lot of this stuff I figured out within the past like 3, 4, 5 years. So it's encouraging that you're having these insights, at an earlier age, because you just do them. You can just do more with them,
Right. But it's because of conversations like this. That's the only way.
I mean, it's because you put yourself in a situation to have conversations like this. You know what I'm saying?
Good point. Yeah,
we're not on my show. We're on whose show are we on right now?
You're right. You're right. School Blue Collar.
Yeah, it's not my show. There you go.
Yeah. Hey, this is this has been fantastic. Seriously, I cannot thank you enough. I canceled on you once, and you were flexible and gracious. So
life happens, dude.
It does. Life hits you with a ton of bricks sometimes, and some way you got to get back up, and you got to go to work, and you got to put a smile on your damn face.
Yep,
it's just how it works sometimes.
It's what we do, man. It's what we do. No, it's been my pleasure. I'm impressed by your insights at your age and where you are, and no doubt it's going to be fun to watch your career blossom. It's going to be cool. So yeah, man.
I appreciate it. The last thing I ask you to do is,
yes, sir.
I put everything so they know where to find you in the caption of this video. But quickly, I would love for you to tell them where you can find you: Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And then I'll ask you to say 3 words. Leave us with 3 words, and then we're capping it. 3 words.
Okay.
They don't have to be related. They don't have to be.
No, I got you.
That's it.
So first of all, you can find me at Be The Filament. It's probably hard to read. BeTheFilament.com. That's my personal website. You can see here, it's even on my bracelet. And then on there, you'll find my personal socials. So that's a good place to go. You can go find my company too as well, but that's not as interesting. 3 words: phenomenal, abundance, and rest. So phenomenal, because that's what I always say when people ask how I am. I'm like, phenomenal. Abundance, because I do believe that that we live in a very abundant world. And rest, because that's been my superpower as an entrepreneur, is figuring out how to like dial in my sleep and get my rest dialed in. It's underrated for a lot of entrepreneurs, and it's important. So there you go.
That's the truth. That's the truth. This has been another community Zoom call at the School of Blue Collar. We'll catch you next month. I appreciate it.
See ya.
Awesome. That was all. I really enjoyed it. I truly.
We're still live.
I really enjoyed
Still
it, and
says we're live?
I'm very blessed to have connected with you.